I was feeling, blood pressure. You don't feel any pain. It's a silent killer. So I took the medicine for a week, then I discarded it. I was lucky enough because my son is a trained first aider. So the moment my wife came back to the bedroom and found me convulsing on the bed, when she screamed, my son was able to come, and he turned me over to the recovery position. And after I stabilized a little bit, I started breathing. They put me inside a vehicle. They asked for help from around. They put me inside a vehicle. And again, a lot of things worked in my favor.
So tell us about yourself.
My name is Ndiba Gilbert. I'm the programs coordinator of a CBO in Ongata Rongai called Sari Crime Epuka Chain. We are based in Rongai and we work with the community here in Ongata Rongai. I'm also a businessman. I have my own company, a property company called Motown Property and Motown Capital and Property here in Ongata Rongai. Yes.
Okay. So today we're here to talk about your health. So when did you discover you had any health issues?
I discovered I had health issues about 5 years ago during a random blood pressure checkup. They looked at my pressure and the doctor told me that my pressure was high. So from there on, he prescribed some medication for me, but that time I was feeling nothing. Blood pressure is painless. So when he's prescribed the medicine, I just took it for quite some time, for about a week. Then I discarded it and continued with my life.
Okay, so maybe before you continue, let me just ask, this checkup that you did that day, did you go there intentionally or how did you get to doing the checkup?
For the blood pressure, I just went. I had taken my friend. He had his leg was he had a fracture on his leg.
Yeah.
So we had just gone there. So it was a coincidence. There was a blood pressure medicine there. Then the doctor decided, just asked us, do you want to check on your blood pressure? So they checked on mine. It was high. And he told me I have to start taking some medicine or work on it so as to bring it down. So it is not the blood pressure that took me to hospital. Yes.
So you were just taking a friend?
Yes.
Okay, so what happened after now you've been prescribed some medicine by the doctor?
I took the medicine for about a week, but I was feeling nothing. I was feeling, blood pressure, you don't feel any pain. It's a silent killer. So I took the medicine for a week, then I discarded it. I threw it out.
Okay.
And stopped taking it and continued with my life.
And
yes.
What happened after?
After some time, I started getting some recurring headaches. I used to get headaches every now and then, which I used to self-medicate.
Okay.
I used to buy Maramoja. Actually, at any one given time, I would be having about 20 tablets of Maramoja in my car. Because I used to self-medicate, just taking Maramoja. I just pop the pills. It works instantly. And I continued like that.
So how long was this after that checkup that you had with the doctor? When you started getting the headaches?
After about a year.
A year?
After about a year, I started getting recurrent headaches. But initially, I used to tell myself, maybe it's hangovers. Because usually they used to happen after a night out. You get a headache, take Maramoja, the problem goes. But after about another 3 days, the headaches come back, they recur. So I didn't. There was no cause for alarm for me, as far as I was concerned.
Okay, so you're taking the pills, and then what happens now? Tell us the rest of the story.
After taking the pills for about maybe 1 year after the headache started, after taking the pills, one day my sight became blurry in the evening when I went home. I couldn't even see the TV. I was watching TV. I was watching news. I can remember I was watching news. I couldn't read the captions. I moved close to the TV and actually even took my wife's reading glasses and started trying to read with them. But it didn't work, so I told myself tomorrow morning I have to go to hospital. I told myself, I made a mental note to myself. I slept. The following day I woke up in the morning. I woke up in a very confused state. I was very confused. Actually, I was very lucky because the stroke didn't hit me at night while I was asleep. I would have died, definitely, 100%. So I woke up very confused. I received some calls on my phone. And the last call that I received, I remember I received it from my personal banker. He asked me for my bank account number, and I think I still retain that message that I sent to him. It was gibberish, I couldn't see. So that is when the stroke hit me. I was lucky enough because my son is a trained first aider. So the moment my wife came back to the bedroom and found me convulsing on the bed, when she screamed, my son was able to come, and he turned me over to the recovery position. And after I stabilized a little bit, I started breathing. They put me inside a vehicle. They asked for help from around. They put me inside a vehicle. And again, a lot of things worked in my favor because I also live near the Nairobi Women's Hospital in Ongata Rongai, which is a facility that has everything. So when they rushed me there, they did a CT scan and discovered what was the problem. And they started working on it immediately. And since I needed specialized health care, they put me in an ambulance once again, and I was rushed to Kenyatta National Hospital, where I stayed for 14 days. And after 14 days, I came out, and I have been convalescing since then. That was in February 2020. February 2021 is when the stroke happened. Yeah, is when it hit me.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so what was the diagnosis at the hospital exactly?
The diagnosis was that I had suffered, it's called an occipital stroke. Actually, the reason why I used to get the headaches here, there's a place here called the occipital gland at the back of the head. So the headache used to occur here, to happen here. So the blood vessels had ruptured because of pressure. My blood pressure had shot up to 220, I think it was about 223 over 130.
What is usually the normal range?
The normal range should be around 118 over 80 or over at least 80 coming down, but not so low. Actually, again, if it goes low again, it becomes low blood pressure. It's an issue also. So you're supposed to maintain it between 118 to 130, 118 actually to 125 around there. So mine had hit 223.
Okay.
The systolic and diastolic. My diastolic pressure was 130. So it was over. It had hit the roof. So that is what caused the bleeding on the occipital gland. Yes.
So what was the recovery process like? What medicines were you given? What was the aftercare?
Okay. I stayed in hospital. Okay, during my stay in hospital, they were working on it. Actually, there are a lot of experts because they had to check on my kidney, they had to check on my heart, they had to check on my organs generally.
Yeah.
Until I stabilized. I was under medication all that time. Of course, I was on a drip. Then when I came out, I was prescribed a lot of medication for my blood pressure. Every day, initially when I came from hospital, I think for a year or so, I had to take 13 tablets every day for blood pressure, different types.
Okay.
So I think there were 5 different types, but some you have to take 2 times 3. So I was taking 13 tablets every day for about a year. But of course, after every 2 or 3 months, I go for reviews to see what they can cut down. So it has been that way for the last 2 years. I'm heading to 3 years. I had to take that medicine for about 3 years before they can decide which ones to remove, so that my medication goes down slowly by slowly.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine. So, what would you have done differently now that you've gone through all that?
What I should have done differently during that time was I should have taken I moved from one pill. It was one pill that was prescribed for me initially by the doctor. I ignored. I take 13 every day, and I have to take them religiously because my life depends on it now.
Okay.
Yes.
And why didn't you take the warning seriously from the doctor when you initially went and got the checkup done?
I didn't take it seriously because blood pressure is not painful. You feel nothing initially. It is a silent killer.
Okay.
Yes. So I just ignored it because I was feeling nothing. I was feeling absolutely fine.
Okay.
Yes.
So have you heard about Afya 101 platform?
Yes, I've heard about Afya 101.
Yeah, what do you think about it?
Afya 101 I think it's a good idea and it's a very good initiative because people should check on it is good to check on your health. You might feel nothing right now, but there is something inside. Blood pressure, checking on your vitals, it is very important because some of these things don't pain.
Okay.
Some of these things don't pain. And some of these diseases that we have, these lifestyle diseases, they can be nipped in the bud early enough. And the moment you realize you have something wrong, the moment you start working on it, treating it, getting treatment for it, the earlier, the better.
Okay.
Yes.
So what about the youths who think that they cannot get the diseases? You know, some people might say, oh, it only happens to people who are over a certain age.
Actually, my advice to youth, I think since that time I've talked a lot to friends and I've talked a lot of people, especially the youth. One thing I tell them, when you hear of lifestyle diseases, it is not the rich only who suffer lifestyle diseases, even the poor, anyone. So it is always important to check on your health. It is always important to check on your health, check on your blood pressure, check on your kidney functions, check on everything. So my advice to the youth is you are what you eat and you are what you are. How you live and how you live means, do you take care of yourself? Yes. How do you take care of yourself? Do you check on your do you do regular medical checkups, which is very, very important. In the life of today, whatever we are putting into our mouths, whatever we eat, you don't know what is affecting you.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a quote you said earlier that I liked. Your body is like a car, your body is like a car.
Yes. Your body, actually, if you have a car, After every several kilometers, you have to take it. After every 5,000 kilometers, you have to take it for service. And when you take it for service, the mechanic looks, he doesn't only do the service, they look at other things. They tell you this and this and this, you have to change. Likewise, when you go for a medical checkup, that is what happens.
Okay.
You are told exactly what is wrong with you. Yes.
So maybe one last question. What was the biggest implication like to your life now, like after getting the disease? How has it affected you generally?
Okay. Luckily for me, I've been able to follow since then. When I left hospital, I wouldn't say that it has affected my work or anything, but because I take my medicine very religiously, actually that is what changed completely, because I've had to change my lifestyle. I've had to watch what I eat. I've had to make sure every other day I get my vitals checked, my blood pressure. I usually check my blood pressure every other day. Actually, I even realized there are some people who you will tell to go and get some medical checkups. They are afraid because they are afraid the doctor will tell them they are sick. People don't want to discover their sicknesses.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you don't know that prevention they are not better than cure Okay, we're almost done. Any more questions? Anything you think I've not asked, Chris?
Yes, prevention is better than cure. I think that one is very important.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Yeah.
Prevention is better than cure. People don't want to discover they are sick.
So do you think if you had done something the first time the doctor told you, you would not have been gotten sick from that day, got the checkup done?
Of course, if I followed the doctor's advice that time, I would not have gotten the stroke. Yes. So once you get your medical checkup, the doctor will be able to diagnose what is wrong with you.
Okay.
And once they diagnose, they are going to tell you what to do. And everything, once nipped early, everything, if every disease is detected early, you can be able to, it is curable. Yes.
So thank you so much for that, for sharing your story. I think you'll be able to help so many people with this. So maybe tell us your social media. Do you have any social media platforms?
My social media is, my Facebook is ndibawanjiko.com. Sorry, it's Ndiba Wanjiko. But I also have for my CBO, I run it as Natarongai Community Initiative. That is where maybe people can follow up and see the programs that I do. And for my personal business, for my property business, is Motown Capital and Property on Facebook.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.